We're back. This is Dear Woke Christian. We in the building. We've been freed. We've been freed from YouTube jail, and we're back. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I just wanted to do a quick check-in and let you know that I'm back. If you're wondering where I was, I'll go over it again real quick. I was in the YouTube purgatory. So I don't even understand. I can't fully even describe what they did. So, and I'll explain it again. But nonetheless, YouTube has seen the errors of their ways after almost 6-7 days of keeping your guy in YouTube purgatory. How are you gonna have the Black Pope in YouTube purgatory? How are they doing that? How is that even a thing? Well, anyway, it's so crazy. But I'm back, and I want to go over a couple things that I've learned, and I want to talk to particularly those who are in the content creating space. I think I've learned some things, and this is not an exhaustive list at all, but just some things I've learned while being in YouTube purgatory. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. So if you're not familiar, last Monday, was it Monday? It was Monday. Okay, so last Monday, Todd Shannon and I did a live stream, just chopping it up, just two guys talking. And my mistake, I did not set the comments for subscribers only, usually 3 days, 3 days prior. So there was some spam bots that jumped into the chat, and in an attempt to manage the spam bots and keep talking without like really stopping the whole show and stuff like that, I was trying to close out and block the spam bots, and I accidentally populated one of the spam bots on the screen. And it was the avatar, the profile picture was a picture that was not good. So it got populated on the screen for about 3 seconds. And I mean, that was it. I thought it was the end of it. I got it off of there. I blocked the spam bots. This was like 20 minutes into the show. We talked for like an hour and 30 minutes after. Anyway, come find out, jump to the chase. Tuesday morning, I wake up. I wake up really early for devotion and prayer and checking my email. So I got an email from YouTube saying the video was taken down. I said, for what? So I should have made this a dusty comments segment. So it said, because of, corn was on the screen. I was like, no way. So I appealed it. Now, mind you, that was about 4:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. So I appealed it. I thought everything was going fine. I explained in detail. Now, mind you, another fun thing about YouTube, and I mentioned this in another video earlier, YouTube is real cute because they took the video down, but in order to appeal the taking down of the video, you have to post a URL for the video. Well, how can I do that? You took the video down. But I actually had the video because I had recorded it in StreamYard. So I actually had the video, and I explained that I had the video. You can see at minute this is what happened. This populated for 3 seconds, blah, blah, blah. I explained it. So I'm at my studio in the office, and I'm going to lunch, and I'm walking out, playing with my phone like most of us do. And I'm looking in YouTube studio, and Dear Woke Christian will populate. I said, what is this about? So I go to the YouTube channel, and it's gone. I said, what in the world? I said, I bet you they took the whole channel down. Lo and behold, I go look at my email, and they took the entire channel down. Again, 3 seconds worth of content that I did not populate. I didn't do it on purpose. So I proceed to go find out that you can reach out to YouTube support via Twitter, because also once they took down your channel, you don't have access to the channel anymore. So you can't even go to support through your particular channel. So I had to use like my my studio one. I'm like, I don't want my studio associated with that. So I found out that you can go to YouTube through Twitter, or whatever it's called now, the app formerly known as Twitter. Went through there, conversed with them. They try to be helpful, but they're really not helpful at all. And then them rascals had the audacity to ask me to fill out a satisfaction survey. Boy, you know they should never have done that to you, boy, because I sure let them know what I thought about them. But um, they did. They sent me an appeal form. And this is another thing. This is like bonus. I have 5 things that I learned, and this is not one of them. If you ever do an appeal form for whatever reason, only do one of them. You're going to be tempted and you're going to want to do like 20. Don't do that. Just do one and leave it alone. Bug them on Twitter, but don't do. I think I did 4 appeal forms. So I was literally so mad. I'm like, how dare you take down my channel? So I was firing them off. I cut and pasted everything. I was putting it in there because, oh yeah, the other thing is they want the URL for the channel they took down. So they want the URL for the channel and the URL for the video. Well, you don't have those because they took them down. But I actually have my URL saved in my phone for some reason. I have no idea why, but it came in clutch. And I actually had I found the URL for the video through the email that they sent me initially, where they told me it was being taken down. I found it. So anyway, and that was all last week, man, all through the weekend. And then this morning I wake up. Thank you, dear Will Christian. We've decided to, we looked at it and everything's hunky dory. Your channel's back. And that was it. So as I like to say, we're back. I got some things I've learned. And if you are a content creator, this was really geared towards you. I really want to, if you follow me on Buy Me a Coffee, I'm going to be doing a series because I'm going to show you what I'm doing to rectify this problem for Dear Woke Christian. I am actually going to, dearwokechristian.com has always been a blog, and lots of you, thank you so much, have gone to dearwokechristian.com. Well, dearwokechristian.com is actually going to become a little bit more robust. And there'll be a lot more options there. There will be videos housed on dearwokechristian.com now. There'll be, my Buy Me a Coffee will be there and such like that. But I'm going to be going through with a friend of the channel. His name is Charles Simpson. Immediately when this happened, I reached out to Charles. Charles has been saying this forever. As long as I've known him, he's been saying you got to build on your own soil, build on your own soil, build on your own soil. And basically what it means is on YouTube, we're renting that space from YouTube. And at any time, they can decide as a landlords, they can decide, or the landowners, they can decide that, yeah, you're not a person we want on our channel. And we saw that last week when they kicked me off for something that they did. But something they did, because keep in mind, they allowed the bot to upload a provocative picture as the profile picture. And then when it accidentally got populated on my screen, they kicked me off the channel because something they had done. Not so much. So today, I just want to go over a couple things I've learned. And if you follow me on Buy Me a Coffee, Charles and I are going to actually start doing a series explaining what we need to do to protect yourself as Christian content creators from this problem. So let's go over it. Number one, and I see you all in the chat, and I will chime in with y'all. I see quite a few of you all. I do want to, let me do that real quick. Let me say shout outs to my people. Q, what's up with you? We sleep. I'm going to go to sleep after I get done with this. Thank you for asking. Angel Wings, always good to see you. Thank you so much for your diligent moderating and social media. Just, you're a beast out there. I want to thank you so much for that. Cher's in the building. Char, always good to see you. Joel, always good. BC in the house. What's happening, friend? Grace and peace. And my good sister Berean Babes is in the house. Good to see you. It was crazy. It was so insane for no reason. I mean, no reason at all. What's going on, Atlanta since 82? We gotta have to change that. We're gonna have to meet. I have to meet up with you. Eric's in the building. Always good to see you as well, friend. Grace and peace to you, friend. All right. I need to know better. I need to be careful clicking on these avatars. That's what got me in trouble last week. I need to be careful. No, I'm just kidding. Lord, they already talking about food. We ain't even been here 10 minutes yet. How y'all talking about food already? I love it. All right. So 5 things I've learned being kicked off of YouTube, being banned from YouTube, whatever. Okay. Number 1, as a Christian content creator or content creator in general, just plan for you to get kicked off of YouTube. Just plan for it. Just plan. Um, I mean, they, they, for example, keep up with all of your subscriptions. Like I'd had access to none of my subscriptions, none of my favorites, none of my playlists, anything. And of course, none of my content. Thankfully, I already have it saved on my computer over here, but you don't have access to it. When they kick you off, you have no access to none of that. So just plan for it. And I'll go over in a little bit more detail what I mean by plan for it. But just, if nothing else, have another channel where you have all your favorites saved, all your subscriptions saved. Because I was like, man, like, who do I listen to or who do I watch? I was at the office today doing some edits. I was like, man, I would love to watch somebody, but I can't. My dear Will Christian is gone. That's where all my subscriptions are. So needless to say, I'm going to be transporting those over to other channels. So just plan for this to happen. Another thing is, if that ever happens to you and you're scheduled for a distribution of funds through the AdSense or the partner program, you don't get it. So you lose access to your AdSense as well. So that's just something to be aware of. All right. So that's the first thing. Plan to get kicked off. Second of all, you can work on other things besides YouTube. I realized, like, man, I have a lot of time because I'm not worrying about curating Dear Woke Christian content or looking at my analytics or trying to squeeze another view out of a video or wondering about a title. I can work on my clients' stuff. I can read more books. I got 2 books read last week. That kind of stuff. Like, you don't have to worry about it. I mean, if you have things that you're doing off of YouTube, enjoy those things. YouTube is going to be here. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about what I think about that. But don't feel like don't allow everything that you do to be centered around YouTube, social media, and such like that. You can spread that stuff out and enjoy life and still be effective on social media and the content game. So number 2, work on other things besides YouTube. Number 3, stick with your normal plan. Okay. Stick with your normal plan. And what I mean by that is build you a plan that will allow you to be able to survive when you get kicked off of YouTube. So there's a lot of things I'm gonna go over, like just little things that I learned. Like you should probably have this in place. You should already do this, especially if you're somebody that's trying to generate an income or move your speaking or your coaching, your books, whatever you're trying to do. Just be mindful that have a normal plan and stick to that plan. And what I mean by that is the plan should have some that's on YouTube, some that's on other places, some that's on other places on social. All of your stuff should not be tied to YouTube. I think that was definitely something that I realized. Like I had a lot of stuff that was tied to YouTube that didn't need to be there. That didn't need to be on YouTube only. All right. Number 4, and this was going to be controversial. YouTube is actually your competition. Yeah, YouTube is not your friend. YouTube is actually your competition. YouTube's goal is to capture the eyes of those who come to YouTube and keep them as long as they can. That doesn't mean that they are going to keep, that they're working for you to allow you to grow your brand or your ideas or push the gospel, anything of that nature. It's what will capture a person's attention and keep him or her there 2 extra minutes, an extra 40 minutes, an extra hour, 2 hours, binge watch the rest of the day, whatever it'll be. They're not your partner. They're your competition. Now I say that because you're creating content that's causing people to come to the platform. They're enjoying it. They're watching it. They're having all that good experience. They're getting a good enjoyment out of what the content that you're creating. That's cool. But please understand, YouTube was not working for you. Because if that person blinks and looks in another direction, they're going to throw something else at them to keep them here, but it might not be yours. So understand that YouTube is not your partner. YouTube is your competition. And because it's your competition, you have to zero in with a high level of veracity on the people that are watching your channel. So if you're doing a channel about cooking, then you need to really dial into what those needs are of the people that are watching your cooking channel, or channel about auto detailing, or your channel about the gospel. You really want to dial into the needs of your people far more than worrying about the algorithm. I realize that now. Like I probably was thinking a little bit too much about the algorithm and too much about what'll get how can I get a few more views or whatever like that. That's cool. A few more views is great. But the problem is, if they don't stay and enjoy the content that I'm creating, or YouTube draws them over to the next thing that's shiny and new, well then all that effort is for naught. So spend the time worrying about and learning your people that watch your channel. Why do people watch your channel? Why do they enjoy what you're doing? And if you can answer that question, you can give them what they want to watch. And sure, they'll stay on YouTube longer and YouTube won't be mad. But on the same note, you do realize that YouTube is your competition. And the very last thing I think is very practical: buy your own domain. Buy your domain right now. Don't even think about it. What is it? Go to GoDaddy or whatever the domain buyer is. Buy your domain right now. So if you, like, I had dearwoldchristian.com. I had that before, well before this happened, but I'm glad I did, because I was able to migrate a lot of that over to a different hosting and building a new website to go along with it. So I call it the new Dear Wold Christian 2.0 will be up shortly, and it's going to be a whole different game. But I have dearwoldchristian.com. Go ahead and buy your domain right now. That's going to be probably one of the first things if you are looking to manage yourself and prepare yourself for when you get kicked off of YouTube. I would suggest go ahead and just buy your own domain right now. Berean Babes, whatever it is, whatever your shtick is, whatever you want to be known for. If you're an author, or you're all about sewing, or you're a gardener, I don't care. Buy your domain. Just go ahead and buy it and sit on it. Maybe you don't need it this year. Maybe you'll need it next year. Maybe you'll need it for 2 more years. I don't know. Like, I have my daughter's domains already. I have them. I have no idea what we're going to do with them, but I have domains for my daughter's names. So if they ever decide to do something, they can just President Firstborn and Chief Executive Secondborn can just go ahead and they have the domains already. I pay for them every year. I have no idea why, but same thing here. I would encourage you, go ahead and buy the domain. And that's a very simple thing. It's going to cost you maybe 10, 12 bucks a year, maybe a little bit more, depends on what it is. But there's so many domains out there now. Just buy your domain now. I think you'll be happy, because then if something goes left, you can turn that into a blog, or you can turn it into a blog, and then later on you can build it into an e-commerce store or a book distributor or whatever. You can do all that, but just go ahead and buy your domain. I think you will be really happy about that. Those are my 5 things. Plan to get kicked off, work on other things besides YouTube, spread your attention out and in other social media platforms. Stick to your normal plan. Once you get a plan and you've spread out, just stick to doing that. Don't get bogged down with, oh man, the world's coming to an end because I got kicked off of YouTube. No, you're still on other platforms as well. And then next, YouTube is your competition. They're not your partner. They even call it the partner program. When you're monetized, they call it the partner program. I don't know why they do that, because they're not your partners. And then very lastly, buy your domain. Have your domain. If it's even going to be your name, your first and middle name, or your first and last name, whatever, buy the domain. Just have it. And then that way, at least you own a little bit of property, a little bit of dirt that you can start building on later on. If you follow me on Buy Me a Coffee, I will be, again, me and Charles will be doing a class very soon, just kind of explaining my journey through, as you're going to walk with me as I go through this. So all the different websites Charles has me sign up for, and migrating my Dear Wold Christian over to the new platform, approving the logo and moving all that stuff over, all that. You can see all of that, and hopefully it'll encourage you to do the same thing and just have another place. At the end of the day, Dear Wold Christian will be very similar to, like, will be a hybrid of Buy Me a Coffee, where you'll be able to access premium content and just regular content from there. So sure, you can get it over here at YouTube as well, but if it's gone off of YouTube, it'll start rather on Dear Woke Christian, and then it migrates over to YouTube. So it's a much better attention, much more intentionality, if you will, in that. So that is it. That is it. Wasn't gonna be long. So Q can go to sleep. I know Q is past her bedtime, but let me see real quick. They still talking about it. How y'all still doing this? What is that? Venican? What in the merciful name of, what is that? Okay, we got soft tacos rocking. All right. Why is my chat always talking about food? Why is that? That is the craziest thing. Thank you so much, Atlanta 82. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're back. I want to hear your thoughts on Sacramento and the water gun. Oh, are you talking about okay, I will definitely talk about that. Oh gosh. Shoot me an email and we will definitely talk about that for sure. It won't be today though, because I need to make sure I know all the ins and outs of it. Let me give you my email just in case you don't have my email. There it is. No, that's a very true point, Eric. They call it screw tube for a reason. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I hope that will help you all if you're a content creator, or even if you're considering creating content. Charles Simpson, he actually owns a digital marketing firm, and he was the first person I called, and he's been extremely helpful. I'm looking forward to him and I working together, because we're gonna explain, and I'll show you what we did, how we moved from Dear Woke Christian, the blog, to hopefully Dear Woke Christian 2.0, the more robust channel that will allow me to say what I want to say, and not have to have that specter of they could pull the plug at any time, because that's like pretty scary. I can only imagine if this channel was generating a lot of AdSense or anything like that, like just yank the plug out. That's craziness. It's extremely bothersome. It's iced coffee tonight, by the way, just in case you were wondering. But so yeah, that was it. I just want to talk about the 5 things that I kind of learned through this time. I think I do want to talk about what Atlanta 82 was talking about with the water gun and such like that. I do want to talk about that, but I also got some other wild church shenanigans. We have a brother in the chat. He's not in here right now. I don't see him, but Marshall, good gracious. Marshall keeps sending me these things. I'm like, Marshall, do you hate me? What have I done to hurt you, Marshall? Anyway, so I might have to do a whole segment, maybe like Wednesday or something, maybe tomorrow, who knows? But oh my goodness, there's a lot of shenanigans out there. So it's very possible I'll let y'all know, but I'll probably do it tomorrow or Thursday in reality, tomorrow or Thursday. And then Friday, I have a live stream with Tim Frisch from A Frisch Perspective. He's hit 20,000 subscribers. So he's going to do, this is crazy, he's going to do 20,000 seconds of live stream. So if you did the math, that's like 5.5 hours. So he's going to do 5.5 hours of live streaming. So I'm going to be jumping in there on Friday evening. Tim and I are going to be talking. And if you know my story, Tim is actually how I got started on YouTube. Tim let me come on and interview him on his channel. And that's kind of what got me started on this old crazy YouTube suburbs. I love it. But so yeah, I thank y'all so much for your encouragement. Thank you for everybody that went to Dear Woke Christian, the podcast, and subscribe there and ask, what had happened. Some of you shot me emails, some of you shot me text and such like that. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. And please go to Dear Woke Christian podcast. And let me make sure I have that in there. Please go to Dear Woke Christian podcast as well as Podium Studio. Help a bugger out. Let me drop that link in there too. But yeah, please go. That's just a great way of having, again, diversity, having it in different places. and the such like that works out very well and allows me to stay in contact in the event that something like that happens again. Let me get this. I love it. I love it. All right, my good peoples. And I'm also going to change this logo too. I think Richard from Richard Contramundum was the one that did my logo for me, and he's suggested a new logo for this for the podcast. So I'm gonna that'll be changed soon as well. So don't be surprised when you see a new logo. But that is it, my lovelies. I thank you all so much again for your time tonight. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for your encouragement and the such like that when things were going a little wild last week. But I appreciate you all hanging in, checking in with me, and not throwing me away. So I appreciate you all so much. I am going to get out of here because it's past my bedtime as well. But let's do this again real soon, everybody. I'll see you, Lord willing, grace and peace. Take care, everybody.